right, go ahead and state your name and tell me what I'm looking at.
Hey, I'm Reese, and this is my 1995 Jeep YJ. Square headlights, leaf springs all over. It's got the 2.5 liter in it with a 3.5 inch lift. I could go on and on.
I don't see any ducks yet. Where are the ducks at?
The ducks are actually all located under the seat in the back.
Oh, okay. All right, just making sure that that's a necessity. Tell me what made you want a Jeep, or tell me about what interests you in that Jeep lifestyle. You know, you got the rock crawlers and the whole 9 yards. So tell me about why this.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. So originally I was looking into a Jeep, but I didn't know which car to get as my first car. This is actually my first car, and I was gifted this by my sister. She gave me this Jeep, and it was bone stock. It had the tiny little donut wheels, it had the hard top, it had everything on it. And I think I bought one thing for it. I think I bought the soft top, and all of a sudden I realized that my new calling was now to buy Jeep parts. And put all my money into this thing and spend more time under it than in it. But it's kind of like an addiction. You go off-roading for the first time, you start jumping over rocks and you can't stop. It's just one thing after another, and all of a sudden you're just bouncing over everything.
That's cool. Now tell me, you've mentioned maybe some of the gremlins you've had to deal with. Is it more like just routine, like old car stuff, or is there something particular with the Jeeps that we should all know?
Yeah, so with this one in particular, each one is vastly different somehow. I don't know how the engineers managed to do that, but it is anything but routine. So I've had like 4 fuel pumps burn out on me. I was rock crawling and I bounced on a rock, I hit the tank, and it sent fuel up the return line to the front, started spraying out the hood. And I didn't know, so I off-roaded all the way back with that going on. It smelled bad.
But it still made it, right?
It still made it. And then quite a few other things have happened, some hoses, some lines, but that's just the normal car stuff, I guess.
Gotcha. Now, what are your plans for this? Are you keeping it? Do you plan on upgrading in the future? Or do you want to try something new, maybe like a small car or sports car, or you're just going to stay Jeep?
Absolutely. So I had an Acura RSX when I was in school out of state. So I had that, and that was a really fun car. It was a great car, but I wanted to sell that. I did not want to keep that. This is my project car. This will always be my project car. I will buy another daily because I can't afford 12 miles to the gallon. But this is always going to be my project car, and no matter how many times I tell myself I'm done, I'm not done. I've tried. I'm not done.
Looking into the future, especially with California in 2035, they're saying we won't be able to buy any new gasoline cars. Considering this is a Jeep, very capable, but not necessarily good for the environment, even though it gets you out to the outdoors, how do you balance that, or what do you see in the future between electrification and something like this that is extremely capable, lets us go outdoors, but not necessarily good for the environment?
Sure, yeah. So, I mean, I kind of love when people bring that up because people expect me to be very, very, I don't know, against electric cars, but I took 2 classes on it. I'm a computer engineer, so I took a class in battery and fuel cell vehicles actually specifically, just because I wondered that same thing. Why is electrification, if it's the future, why isn't that here already? And I found that it's actually kind of backwards thinking to think that a 45-minute charge, which causes dendrites and slow down and charge up to the battery and lower capacity, is actually ever going to be internal combustion, which is more efficient at the higher end, which costs less to mine, which costs less to import. So I try not to let the fear of legislation in 2035, which is looming for sure, scare me away from driving what I love right now.
All right, I appreciate your time. I'm going to take some B-roll of this Jeep, but this is amazing.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.